Hey guys, welcome back. I was trying to pause my typical comfort show. Anyway, Virgos, this one's for you. Okay, Virgos, let's see what you need to know right now, I think. Whatever the other readings were, to be honest. Okay. So I lit my sage to clear my space, and honestly it smelled a lot more like what is it called, the devil's lettuce, I think what it's called. So I don't know if you guys are, some of you guys are partaking, but it really did. For a second I was like, what the hell is somebody? I don't partake, so not that I'm judging. I if I wanted to I would, I just don't. So I don't care if you do, but there's something there about some ganja or some shit. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I literally was like, wait, is that sage or my sage, or is somebody like, what? Alright, we got problems to be resolved. Alright, looks like life is lifing, right? There's a lot going on right now. There could be a lot of issues that are happening, and what's happening, I feel like, is you are being realigned. And when you are being realigned, it feels like your world is falling apart, and what's happening is that the universe is deconstructing your life. Okay, there could be just a lot of things, one after the other, problems that you have to solve, and it does just feel like you're a little bit, you guys might be partaking because you guys might want happiness and well-being, right? There's a lot of things that are going on, and there's a need right now, even if you guys do that, there's a need right now to ground yourself, to meditate. If you guys don't meditate, let's say you guys are more religious, then pray. Whatever it is that you do besides, you know, partaking in the devil's lettuce, I think that's how they say it, right? There might be a need to actually either spend some time in nature with a different kind of green, or there might be a need to do both, right? Not just one. Because remember, whenever we use outside sources, even if it's a healthier option than, let's say, drinking or drugs or whatever it is, it's still something outside of you, right? Food, you know, relationships. A lot of people, when they're going through things, they want somebody to cuddle them while they're going through things. And yes, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be by your side, but when we're starving and we go to the store, we usually don't go. When we're starving and we go to the store, we don't usually get healthy food, right? We get the junk food, we get the burgers, we get the you know, we don't usually, you never go to the store hungry. And so when you're needing that validation, or you're needing somebody to make you feel better or to hold you, right? Usually we don't spend the time to investigate who people are, take the time to get to know them, because we want it right now, right? Grasshopper, balance situations that require careful handling. Okay, yeah, so these situations are requiring very careful handling, right? It does feel like these situations are very temporary, and it is not like things are happening to you, things are happening for you. It really is that way. And you'll be like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it is. It's unfolding. Everything happens in a butterfly effect way. This happens, one thing happens, right? Let's say I don't know, I don't want to use that one. Let's say your car stops working, and so then you lose your job, and then it turns out that, I don't know, you start your own business, or you find another job that's from home, and it turns out that you get paid more, and then you get to stay home, right? And you get to work with a new house, new attitude. There could be issues going on with your home because you got successful outcome to your problem, and it has a key, and then new house, new home, new attitude. And then it says you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Yeah. I do feel like you're getting the key to something. It could be, or it could be that the universe is realigning you to getting, so let's say you get evicted, right? Let's say something's going on where you get evicted, or the house, something happens where you have to move, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. But it turns out that in the area that you were in, the energy was bad. There was so many things that were happening because you were in a negative energy, right? Not you necessarily, maybe the home, right? And so it could be that you move and all of a sudden things start turning around and everything happens. Everything starts coming in a different way. I hope that came out clearly, because it feels very choppy with you guys, and I know that that's not me. That's kind of the energy, your guys' energy. So I feel out of breath, but like, you know when you're overwhelmed and you're kind of like trying to breathe in, you're like, there's a need to do some breathing exercises. You guys feel very overwhelmed right now. There is a lot going on. There is a lot going on. I do see that. It's okay though. It's all gonna work out. It doesn't, even if it seems bad at first, it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out, right? The Page of Wands. Yeah, there are okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but there's a star right here. It's almost like you guys wished on a star, or you guys prayed, or you guys hoped for something. And that's interesting. Some of you guys, are those tents or are those pyramids? Those look like pyramids. So there's something here about either Egypt or Mexico. Okay, his roots are growing into the ground. They're well grown. They're well grown into the ground, and he is starting to grow outside of it. And he has a little, like 2 flowers, maybe like 2 flowers and a little bud of a flower that are growing out. So it seems like your guys's ideas are starting to flourish, right? Things are starting to happen. You might see some movement in certain aspects. This could be a career, this could be business, this could be in your health, this could be in love, this could be in anything. It does feel like the roots needed to grow underneath. And what happens when the roots grow underneath? You don't see those. So it feels like you're not manifesting. It feels like nothing's growing. It feels like everything's just going wrong. But what's happening is that the ground, the roots are growing, and all of that, you know, the movement and everything else, what's doing it, it's helping at for the roots to grow deeper, right? And so what's happening now is that the roots are starting to come up. I said this, I think, in Leo, maybe. No, maybe Gemini. I don't remember, to be honest with you. The roots are starting to, not the roots, I'm sorry, the flowers are starting to come out. In whoever's reading, I saw this, I saw a little bud of the seed coming out. With you guys, it's starting to become more of a, how do you say ramo in English? Not a bush, not even a full, it's just like, it's, I don't know if you guys have ever garden before, but it's the before stage. But when there's enough to see that it has taken root and there's leaves coming out, it's nothing big, just enough that you see the growth. There's growth, and it's starting to now, the fruits of your labor are now starting to grow, right? With problems to be resolved. But it is shaking things up in your world. It's shaking things up because there's other things that are going on. Because they're still realigning you. You are still being realigned, and things are being taken away and things are being given, okay? Yeah, with the 8 of Swords, the sun and the happiness of well-being. Yeah, you're all stuck up in your head. So some of you guys could be, you know, trying to bring back the sun and the happiness. Trying to avoid feeling those hard feelings, those heavy feelings. And I just got really frustrated to the point where I was like, I don't want to talk anymore. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, even in the middle of this reading, I was like, I don't want to do this reading. Like, I don't want to. It's not I don't want to. This is the energy that you guys are giving, right? I straight up felt like I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to do this. Don't bother me. Don't talk to me, right? And that's a little bit of compartmentalizing. You guys are wanting to go back into your hole, right? You guys are, but there's a need to use the lessons that you've learned to be able to harness those energies and push through, right? Remember, any energy that you feel, anything can be transmuted into something else. If you're feeling exhaustion, take a bath, you can do a million things, honestly. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxiety, go exercise, dance in your home, clean, whatever. There's a million things you can do, right? You're saying, I want to do something that I want to do. You can go out and take a walk, read a book, something that's calming, right? I know that I have several shows that I watch over and over and over again. I know that's a Cancer trait, to be honest with you, because a lot of people that I know that have cancers do that. We even put the shows on to sleep. Like I do both X-Files and Supernatural, and I've done that for years, like since before I was a mom. And it's because, you know, it's for anxiety. It helps with anxiety. I just saw 11/11. It helps with anxiety because you already know the show, you know what's gonna happen, so it's almost like a comfort blanket, right? So some of you guys maybe do that. Put on music and just allow it. You know what I've started listening to, which I absolutely love, and if I ever decide to get married again, the string quartets, but the string quartets doing covers of modern music. Put that on. Oh my god, it calms your soul. Okay, put that on, because it's not overwhelming. It's so it really does calm you the fuck down. Okay, yeah, with situations in the balance that require careful handling. You have the Ace of Cups here. I feel like you have a lot of things that are going to start coming in that are going to be actually good, that you're going to be happy for, that you're going to be very overwhelmed with emotion. And these are actually, like, they feel like such a miracle of love, right? They're going to fill your cup to the brim. But even sometimes, even good things feel there. What is it called? It's like a good stress, right? Like, I've said this before, like when you study psychology, there's even good and bad stress. Like if you get married, that's a good stress. It still stresses you the fuck out. If you've ever thrown a quinceañera, that shit is so stressful, and I hope to never do that shit again, to be honest with you. Unless I'm one day a billionaire, and then I will pay everybody to do everything, because no, that was really difficult for me. And especially with, I didn't have much help, and I have a lot of autoimmune conditions, and I was not healthy at the time. So yeah, but it's still in need of don't allow yourself. Basically what I'm getting at is, when you are going through good and bad, it can be overwhelming. There's a need to have emotional and spiritual, what's the word I always use for that? I was gonna say maintenance, which could work, but it's more like hygiene, good hygiene. Needing to meditate every day. You know, when you're having a bad day and things continue to happen and you don't transmute that energy, what happens? You explode on someone else. Even if it's something good and you're overwhelmed with love, and you're overwhelmed with gifts and stuff, or gifts of love, with love, and people come in and you know, there's just a need to be able to balance those emotions, right? Clarifying success, or key, sorry. Yeah, successful outcome to your problem. So whatever problem this is, you guys are going to get it figured out. Doesn't matter, because there is a bunch of love that's coming in, and honestly, love overcomes everything. That's the truth. That is the truth. And I know people are like, that's stupid. Those are the people that require love. Those are the people that require love and should give more love. Whenever you feel like you need more love, it's time to give more love, you know. Let's clarify key. Yeah, the Hangman. It's going to allow you to change your perspective. It's going to allow you to change. Oh my god. Some of you guys might be really buff, or like spiritually really buff, or like mentally really buff. But yeah, it's going to allow you the strength you need. It's going to allow tell you the strength to need to fight for exactly what it is that you're wanting to fight for, which I feel like for you guys is a new home. It's a new, I feel like for a lot of you guys, this really is a new home. And I'm almost getting for some of you guys, it might be like your home just to be in order. There seems to be a lot of things going on in the home. There could be a lot of issues with, there might be a lot of arguing around the home. There might be a lot of, yeah, just kind of like chaos. You know, like when everybody's in a bad mood and then the house is a mess and then everybody's in a bad mood because nobody wants to deal with it. I'm getting like a lot of just like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Can we just, yeah, just get rid of everything and start over, right? The pets might be doing the most. There might be a baby in the house. I'm hearing like crying of a baby, and it's like constant crying. And you know, if you've ever had a baby, that shit takes you out of character real quick, right? It's like, I haven't showered in 3 days, don't talk to me, I can't deal with this shit. There might be bills that are getting like, you know, there might be bills that are packing, you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot going on and you can't seem to ground yourself, right? There's a need to transmute that energy. As soon as you transmute that energy, not only is that going to bring you back down to your presence, to within yourself, but it's going to clear your mind enough so that you can see that there are solutions to these problems. Not only that, but it'll calm you enough so that you know that things are going to come in that are going to help you resolve these problems, right? Instead of allowing those emotions to build up to the point where everybody's going at each other, right? And then we have judgment in reverse. Yeah, it feels like people are like, everybody's like judging each other. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? What is happening here? It just feels like a lot. It feels like a lot. It feels like there's a lot going on, but there is help coming in. There is a need though to allow yourself to be present. You need to be present to be able to deal with the things that are happening in the moment, and also allow yourself to get downloads for help for whatever's going on, right? Yeah, it's time to go and have fun. There's a need to go out and have some fun. And you could be like, oh, well, I don't have money. You know what? You can go to your backyard. You can go to a free park. I know when I was at my brokest and I had a car, I found every single free thing we could do, and we went and did them. They had like, when this is when my kids were younger too, so they enjoyed like things like this, right? They have a bunch of like the free water parks. Like they're not slides or anything, but the water comes out from the floor, and they have like little parks, and you can go. They have like 12 of those in this state. They have free movies in the park. They do those here for free. You go and you make your picnic basket. Hey boo boo, look what I found. Anyway, yeah, I would do a whole bunch, a bunch of snacks and dinner. I would make real dinner, and we would do a picnic basket. I had a real nice one that some asshole burned. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but that just it reminded me, because it was a gift from a friend that passed away. Anyway, and we would go take blankets and pillows, and we would go and watch a movie in the park. Even if it was a movie we had already seen, it didn't matter. We were out in fresh air. We were hanging out, and sometimes a friend would come with me, or a couple of friends. We'd sit there and hang out, and while the kids watched the movie, you know, we would talk, whatever, right? There's a million things you can do. There's a million things, right? There's so many things you can do. You just have to use your mind and allow yourself to get out of that state of flare-up, right? But everything's going to work out. It doesn't matter. Everything's going to work out. You're going to find like that second tank of gas. And I feel like the universe is sending you literally like this overwhelming cup of joy. So they could be sending you friends. They could be, you could be meeting new people that are going to help you. And you're going to feel that overwhelming feeling of love, of people that give a shit and want to help. What can I do for you? How can I help you? How do you need me to take the kids? What do you need? What do you need? I can help you. Right? And that's sometimes all we need. I just need help. Help. I need somebody. Help. Not just anybody. Help. Won't you be that body to please help me? Creation. Remember, your thoughts shape your future. Your words create today. Your choices become reality. Exactly. So if you are continuing to try to manifest and you're trying to build a different life, yet you're in a world where when things get hard, you are turning to outside methods. Guess what? You're not gonna be able to create anything, because you are not creating. You are outsourcing. Outsource doesn't happen. It doesn't help. It doesn't manifest for you, right? There's a need for you to learn how to use what you know. Prayer, meditation. Remember, prayer is you speaking to God. Meditation is God speaking to you. Breathing exercises, taking baths, taking a walk by yourself, right? If you are a single mother, I know I used to do this, and I don't care if anybody's like, oh no, my kids were younger. They weren't babies, but they were younger. I had cameras too everywhere in my house, and I would go take a walk around my apartment complex. I would lock the door. When they were sleeping, I would go exercise at night, put on my headphones, and if any movement was inside or outside my house, I would get notified. I did this for years, and that's how I would get time alone, right? Plus my kids were in school back then, so I would get time alone. Anticipation. Something wonderful is happening. See, changes in the air. Open yourself to blessings. They're on your way. The universe is sending you blessings, and they're sending you help. Okay, Virgos. So I'm gonna leave it here. I hope this helped, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.